I am Shaili Dash. Welcome to the Knowledge Club Online. Today, I am going to discuss about virus envelopes, proteins and resistance technology. At previous lecture, we learned about virus in brief. If you missed that lecture, please click on here I button for getting the link of that lecture, where I promised with you for a detailed lecture on virus envelopes proteins. Today, I am going for that. That's a lot to discuss here. Take a look. Firstly, I am going for the viral envelope. At previous lecture, we learned briefly about viral envelope. Today, I am discuss about the detail in viral envelope. Certain viruses contain envelope that surround the nucleocapsid. The composition of viral envelope is the envelope consists of a lipid bilayer derived from the host cell membrane and virus-coded glycoproteins which are inserted in the bilayers and project to the outer surface of the envelope. These glycoprotein subunits are called peplomers. The peplus means the envelope. For many viruses, these can be observed as spikes. These glycoproteins replace the normal membrane proteins. Thus, cellular proteins are rarely found in the viral envelope even though it is derived from the cell membrane. The glycoproteins serve three basic functions. Number one, they promote interactions with nucleocapsid proteins, which is essential for the final stages of assembly of viruses. Number two, they act as viral attachment proteins, that's called VAPs, to cellular receptors, which is essential for infectivity. VAPs that bind to erythrocytes are termed hemagglutinins. Number three, glycoproteins are the major antigens for protective immunity. Now come to the point of the viral hemagglutinin. What is viral hemagglutinin? A large number of viruses contain hemagglutinin spikes on the capsid or envelope which can agglutinate red cells of different species. Hemagglutinin of influenza virus have been studied extensively. The viral hemagglutinin glycoproteins has got a special affinity for another but different glycoprotein located in the receptor areas in the red cell envelope. The hemagglutinin inhibition test HI is routinely used for detecting antiviral antibody in diagnosis and research. How? When red cells are added to a serial dilution of viral suspension, the virus and red cells collide in the suspension and adhere to each other, resulting in hemagglutination under certain conditions. Virus can be quantitated by the red cell agglutination tests. The hemagglutination is specifically inhibited by the antibody to the virus. Now come to the another important part of the viral envelope, that is neuraminidase. Some viruses, particularly the myxoviruses like influenza, parainfluenza, also carries on their surface another peplomers, the enzyme neuraminidase, which acts on the receptor on red cells and destroys it. Neuraminidase actually a receptor destroying enzyme, that's called RDE, is also produced by many bacteria including V. cholerae and some vertebrate cells. Destruction of the surface receptors result in the reversal of hemagglutinin and the release of the virus from the red cell surface. This process of release of virus from the cells is known as elution. Elution is observed only in the myxoviruses, which possesses neuraminidase, while with other viruses, hemagglutination is stable. The influenza, parainfluenza and mumps viruses hemagglutinate erythrocytes of fowl, man, guinea pig and others, and elution occurs at 37 degrees centigrade. Toga, rubella and rabies viruses hemagglutinate goose and pigeons red cells at 4 degrees centigrade, while enterovirus, some coccidioids and ECHO serotypes and reoviruses hemagglutinate human erythrocytes at 37 degrees centigrade. Now come to the second point of today's lecture, the viral proteins. The viral envelopes are also one type of viral proteins. But in these viral proteins have the another proteins also. These can be divided into several groups on the basis of their functions. Number 1. The structural proteins. These are essential for the formation of new viral particles. Some proteins are associated with nucleic acid. These proteins are responsible for proper packing of viral genomes during synthesis. Some proteins form the protective layers of the virus capsid and envelope and protect the viral genome against inactivation by enzyme nuclease. They participate in the attachment of the virus particle to susceptible cells. They determine the antigenic characteristics of the virus. Another important proteins are the enzymes. Some viruses carry enzymes inside the virions in very small amounts. The enzymes are essential for the initiation of viral replication cycle when the virus enters the host cell. Examples of enzymes possessed by the some selected human viruses. In DNA viruses, the pox virus and hepatitis B virus. In pox viruses, the DNA-dependent RNA polymerase enzymes occurred, and the hepatitis B virus, the DNA polymerase enzymes occurred. In the case of RNA viruses, retroviruses, RNA-dependent DNA polymerase, that's called the reverse transcriptase, occur, and the another RNA viruses, RNA-dependent RNA polymerase other enzymes occurs. The viral polymerase, these are the essential for nucleic acid replication. When viral nucleic acid can be read by cellular polymerase, the viral polymerases will be expressed in the infected cells but will not be packed in the virus. On the other hand, when the cell polymerase cannot read the viral nucleic acid, the virus will have to pack the necessary polymerase. In case of DNA viruses, the cellular polymerase can read most DNA genomes. Those genomes are infective and the viruses do not pack polymerase. Exception is noted with hepatitis B and pox viruses, both of which carry their own polymerase, and the replicative strategies of these two viruses differ considerably from those of the DNA viruses. RNA viruses are divided into two large families. Number 1. Positive stranded RNA viruses pack RNA strands which are read as protein messages by the host cell polyribosomes. The nucleic acid of these viruses is infective and they do not carry polymerases. Exception is seen in retroviruses where replication involves reverse transcription of RNA into DNA. As there is no enzyme present in the mammalian cells capable to retrotranscribe RNA into DNA, retroviruses carry a reverse transcriptase in the viral particle. The negative stranded RNA viruses carry genomes of opposite symmetry to mRNA. Such RNA strands are non-infective. To copy their negative RNA strand into positive strands, these viruses require to carry a transcriptase, which can be translated into viral coded proteins by cellular ribosomes. Another enzyme is protease. Some viruses use protease to process large transcripts into small functional proteins. In others, the enzyme helps the release of nucleic acid from the nucleocapsid. Another enzymes are endonucleases and ligases. These are specialized enzymes required by some viruses for replication. Now come to the point of the resistance technology of virus cells. How we can protect from a virus? Number 1. The temperature. How can temperature help to protect us from the virus? Most viruses are heat liable and inactivated at 56 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes or 100 degrees centigrade for a few seconds. In cold, they are stable and can be stored for long at minus 40 degrees centigrade to minus 70 degrees centigrade by lyophilization or freeze drying in frozen state under vacuum. In radiation, UV radiation and ionizing radiation like X-rays, gamma rays inactivate viruses. The former dimerase in pyrimidine bases of nucleic acid strand and the latter causes lethal breaks in the genome. In chemicals like chloroform, ether and biosols destroy all viruses with lipoprotein envelopes. Most viruses are destroyed by oxidizing agents such as chlorine, iodine and hydrogen peroxide.
So, If you like our video, please click at the like button and share this video in your circle. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, which will help you to gather more knowledges in future. And if you already subscribed our channel, then click at above bell button to know our channel updates. At last, please write your experience regarding this video at comment box, which will help us to evaluate ourselves. We are coming with our next video shortly. Till then, goodbye.